We're mobile. Take Fox Sports 1350 with you using iHeartRadio.
KTDD Riverside, San Bernardino. Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
So what I want to do, Eternal, can G Holler, can we get a drum roll? I mean, we gotta do something to make this special. I mean, you how do you say it, Eternal?
Agua Caliente.
Clippers of Ontario. We're excited about this. Like I said before, it's not every day you get a professional team out in the Inland Empire area. Do you have $2 billion?
Let me tell you something. I do not.
Okay.
My bank account has been sending me emails saying we need a deposit, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
So Steve Ballmer said, I want to get in the NBA. He said, I'm going to scratch a check for $2 billion. I'm doing all right. Yeah. So I think Steve Ballmer's doing okay. You know, he was a part of this one company. You may have heard about it. You know, any computer you ever touch, Microsoft.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
You ever heard of it, you know?
Maybe got Word or something like that.
Absolutely. Oh, do I need to put my iPhone away while we do this interview?
He's like, well, I put mine in my pocket.
Right. So we're excited. We're joined in studio. This is a special day. Like we said, we had the drum roll by team president of the
Agua Caliente
Clippers of Ontario, Heath Bennett. Good morning.
Hey.
Welcome to IE.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys. I think we might need you for that intro.
See, there we go, man.
Well,
Hey,
Coach, this is an audition. So.
Yes, indeed. You know, Coach, is crazy because, you know, the Clippers has such an interesting relationship here in the Inland Empire. When you think, you know, you go here, there's the Lakers, but the Clippers are one of those omnipresent kind of things that are here in Southern California, you know, and with them, you see the Clippers, the brand is just growing. What's exciting for you right now about this, what's going on right now?
Yeah, I think there are a number of levels, the reasons the Clippers are excited to be out here, but just kind of more what you're speaking to. You know, the Lakers are an iconic brand, and, you know, they have a presence in every area of Southern California and a strong presence. So you mentioned Steve Ballmer. I think when Steve Ballmer came in charge here, and I'd worked for the Clippers in the past under the old ownership, and he left and come back. It's two different organizations,
I can imagine,
and the influence and the things that he's doing and the way that trickles down throughout the organization. You know, I think people are beginning to see the Clippers as a different type of franchise, almost like as a new era.
Correct.
And I think going down the road over these next couple of years, that'll only strengthen. And being here in the Inland Empire for us as the G League affiliate and an extension of the Clippers brand, it's going to be awesome. It's the perfect home for us.
Right. And now talk to us real quick, because I mean, you were speaking a little bit about your background, but maybe you kind of talk a little bit about your background and kind of like how what the G League is. Exactly.
Yeah. So my background, I've been in the industry, I guess, 17, 18 years now. Started with the Philadelphia Eagles. Been fortunate enough to work in basketball, football, baseball, hockey.
Oh, nice.
Major league level, minor league level, and in Division I athletics. And you know, at this point in my career, I'm just thrilled. I'm lucky. I think the Clippers were the experience in my career that I enjoyed the most. You know, rare do you come to a midpoint in your career and look back with some actual perspective, and then have the ability to go back to the place you enjoyed the most. So
certainly,
that's where I am right now in my career.
Are you okay with him saying, because he's a Cowboy, Eternal's a Cowboy fan?
I know when he said Philly, it hit me a little bit in my back.
I hope it hit you high. I hope it's stung.
He said, I'm trying to put a little emphasis on that. Real quick, you were touching on it, but give us the G League story. Like, what is the league exactly?
So the G League is, I guess, it's the official minor league of the NBA. And if you look at the four major sports, each one of them has a minor league system. The NBA's is probably the most streamlined because the rosters are also the smallest.
Correct.
And college basketball is huge.
Yes.
So there are a lot of players who can make that jump. In minor league baseball, you may have 6, 7 layers. Hockey has 2 or 3. The NBA and the G League have grown closer together and changed over the last couple of years, and a lot of the NBA teams are beginning to buy, own, and operate the G League affiliate, similar to the situation we have here. And what that's really doing is it's setting up a situation where, you know, Doc Rivers, the coaching staff, Lawrence Frank, all those guys have a system that they want to run. That same system can now be run here in Ontario. And some of those guys who would be on the team but may not get a lot of minutes, maybe, you know, Blake Griffin's backup or something like that.
Right.
Those guys can now come here to Ontario. They can play within the Clippers system.
Right.
The same language, same vocabulary, basically become interchangeable parts and actually get some run, actually get some minutes.
Yeah, and that's important right there. Now, and you were touching on the Ontario dynamic. Why did the Clippers choose the Inland Empire?
I mean, it's perfect.
I mean, we think so.
No, I mean, let's take a look at it. Los Angeles is a massive market, but if you take the Inland Empire and you were to cut it completely off of Los Angeles, it's still the 13th largest market in the country. So
I talk about that all the time.
It's people, and I can tell you, having lived all over the country, I don't think people around the country realize the size and magnitude of what this Inland Empire region has to offer.
Certainly.
Citizens Business Bank Arena is an unbelievable building. It is on the larger side of the G League buildings, but it's the facility itself is world class.
Oh yeah.
And we are still within the Clippers television market. So we are already in an area where there are some Clippers brands, and it gives the Clippers an opportunity to kind of get a little bit stronger foothold, whether it's youth basketball, schools, the community in general, and push the brand a little bit further out. But on the basketball upside is the biggest thing. It allows those guys to go back and forth, play for both teams, a couple two-way contracts where guys will play 40 games in the NBA and 40 or 50 for us, and the coaching staff, the scouts can all go back and forth and collaborate a lot easier.
Coach, I know the tryouts are coming up, but I am here to tell you I got some socks, some Chuck Taylors in the back. It's a little bit of sports cream.
I saw it look in your eye.
Yeah, man, I'm here.
This is our new point guard right
here. They used to call me Young Irvin.
But the funny thing is, we were talking about tryouts, and I was going to try out for the water boy because I figured I play what I have experience doing, And once again, we're joined in the studio by Heath Bennett, team president of Agua Caliente Clippers on Ontario with the G League. And one thing that what you said that's unique about the minor league system story is when my wife and I first moved out here, we moved into an apartment building in Rancho Cucamonga, and the Quakes used to live in there. So it was always unique when you would bump into them. So you may run into a Agua Caliente Clipper out here. So that's pretty cool. But you know what? What are the Clippers' goals for creating a G League team in Ontario? I know you said it's getting them some playing time.
So it's really a couple things. It's one is development. On the NBA side, on the player side, if this is a situation where somebody like Bryce Johnson last year was the Clippers' first round pick, backing up, getting a couple minutes a game, but not really growing or developing, getting those minutes in practice, but not getting them on the court. So we would send him to Salt Lake City, where the affiliate was. It was multi-affiliates, a third-party ownership group, and he may get some minutes, but they weren't really necessarily vested in his development.
Right.
So owning that affiliate and being able to kind of bring it in-house and almost make it a department of the Clippers it is going to help for development. It's going to speed up that development. I think first and foremost, that is the primary thing. If you look at the teams that won the NBA championship over the last 12 years, they've all had a D-League affiliate or a G-League affiliate now, and had that opportunity to develop some of those guys who end up being key rotation players.
Oh yeah.
So development's a big part of it, and that's also on our staff too. We've brought a couple people over who were in entry-level positions with the Clippers, giving them an opportunity to grow in the industry, and they'll either grow here with us or we'll send them back to the Clippers as directors. So it's development on the player side, it's development on the staff side. And again, being so close, 30, 40 miles from Staples Center, it makes complete sense on the fan development side too.
Right, and that's a unique thing about the G League. Unlike baseball, the teams actually own the team. So, one thing I want to ask you is when I first got to the Inland Empire, I moved here from the LA area, they really embraced me. They opened up their arms and they said, "We're glad you're here." But how is the reception? Eternal didn't. But how has the reception been for the Clippers? It's not every day a professional team comes out here.
Yeah, no, it's the reception for the Clippers has been great. I think our kickoff party, we had like 2,000 people on early August Monday with no game. So the turnout was awesome.
Right.
We have some Clippers fans. There's some of the Lakers people. I saw that ad. In the green room. There's clearly some Lakers fans out here. But that's okay.
And that's why we're here. We're here hopefully we can try to
correct my way.
We try. I told him, I said this thing works. So I'm gonna have the Danny Manning on. I'm coming with the.
If Steve Ballmer just so happens to be listening, love the Clippers.
Hey, right?
Love you
Holla
guys.
at me.
And then one thing I must say that you have a strong front office. Eternal, you talk about the Reeboks.
Yes.
D Brown is going to be the team, the general manager.
Yes. And can I, just real quick, if you don't mind, Coach B.
I do mind.
I know. D Brown, right, kind of shaped my basketball situation, right? I promise you. I remember I wanted those pumps so bad. But my dad looked at me and said, son,
you ain't got no game.
yeah. So I got the pumps like 3 years after they were cool. But let me tell you something. I remember like having them things. I used to pump them joints, and they never elevated my jumping. But in my mind, just pumping them bad Oscars. I used to go up there. I used to hit them things about 15 times, and I felt D. Brown coming inside. You know, it was great.
There you go. So D. Brown is the general manager, and then Casey Hill, who spent 4 seasons as the head coach of the Santa Cruz Warriors and is the son of former NBA coach Bob Hill. He led the Warriors, Santa Cruz Warriors, to a G League championship in 2014, 2015. How is that for you to start your team? He knows the G League.
Yeah, that's so here's one thing about the situation we're in. We don't have a lot of runway. Most teams, when a franchise is born, they have 12, 18 months before they take the court. We had about 6. So having experience, whether it's D. Brown, and D's been just absolutely awesome. Like we haven't really dug into him too much about the back thing. I don't know if D's out there listening right now, but when he comes by the office next time, we did order one of those starting lineup figurines.
Oh,
so
yes.
we got something for him to sign.
You're talking about my youth now, man.
But we went there. But,
that's good.
No,
That's
D's
good.
awesome. He's been in the league. He's been a coach in the league. He's been obviously a player, and he has just a great network. Very easy to work with. Casey Hill just got into town, I guess a week or 2 ago, but obviously he's got the experience. He's got a G League or D League ring at the time. He has the the lineage there. His dad's a great coach. He knows what he's doing. We're in good hands. As far as a limited runway, we're in pretty good hands to get it off the ground.
Fantastic. And another question, sir. How are the G League, the rosters built?
Man, you're not going to get on the team.
Yeah, I just want to know. I want to know how to, I'm thinking like, I got some family. How are the rosters built? How are the players assigned to the Clippers? And then also, what's the balance between the NBA and the G League players? I know that was a lot, but
yeah, no, and so this question, the answer to this one is different than it would have been even 12 months ago, and I think it's one of the things that's really making the G League stronger and will be stronger down the road. It was already brought up that in most situations, the NBA team now owns the affiliate.
Right.
That wasn't the case 5 years ago.
Right.
So now that that's the case, they've restructured some of the rules. We actually can have 2 players that are on contract with both teams.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
they'll go
I remember
back
you were
and forth.
mentioning that. Yeah.
So we'll have guys who will play for us, and then they will go right down the street and play for the Clippers.
Right.
And kind of go back and forth. And then we can have, I think it's up to 3 assignment players. So at any given time, we could have 5 players from the Clippers on our floor.
Right.
That you would go over to Staples Center the next night and see there.
Interesting.
Now, when you consider the other team has that same capability, at any time there could be 10 NBA guys between the floor and the bench.
Right.
So
That's cool.
the quality of play, the level of play has risen over the last couple of years because of how much closer the affiliations are and how much more tightly wound that is. I think it's like 42 or 44% of NBA players at the end of last season on the final rosters have played in the G League.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Right.
And
That's
then
pretty
I
good.
think it was 40% of the playoff teams, their final roster. So you talk about 4 of every 10 guys in the NBA itself. And 5 years ago, that percentage was only 22%.
Wow.
So that just kind of shows the growth of the league and us being here close, having up to 5 guys that can go back and forth. The level of play will be high. But
right.
And I know you had one more question, Eternal, but I'll say, I remember one time I was trying to get, because I live in Fontana.
Yes.
And I was trying to get tickets to the Quakes, and they were sold out. And there was all this commotion, and I said, man, who is this number 22 that's playing? Oh, Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea of that experience, it was sold out.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good stuff.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. And then real quick, I wanted to ask you, because, again, I'm talking about these tryouts.
You're not going to.
I want to get to these tryouts
We're
now.
going to be there.
Yeah. So now the team recently announced upcoming tryouts. We've even heard Marcellus Wiley's going to be out there. So, so we're hearing stuff. I'm gonna be out there with the Michael Cooper socks. I'm gonna
Is
be out
Clipper
there.
Darryl gonna be there?
Right? But we've heard about the announcement coming up, and then you're gonna have an upcoming entry draft, which I'm gonna bring my mom to because I want like when they announce it, I want my mom to to cry. I want
to be in the room.
Yeah, I want to be in the room with the
Jersey,
family.
the
Oh yeah, you know what I
podium.
mean. We're gonna have that. We're gonna set it off. But then talk to us about the expectations for both the draft and the tryouts, please.
So really kind of the roster makeup, and I mentioned those, anywhere between 2 and 5 guys that would be with the Clippers that could end up playing for us at any given time. The rest of the roster, we had an expansion draft. So the 4 expansion teams, ourselves included, We're able to go through and take players that were unprotected on other teams' rosters.
Nice.
So we have the rights to 11 players.
Okay.
Now, how many of those will actually play for us remains to be seen. In the G League, when you own the rights to a player, a lot of times that guy's playing overseas.
Oh, I see.
So you have essentially have the right that if he comes to the G League, that you own those rights, and you can try to recruit that player to come back from overseas.
Got it.
Just because we drafted the rights doesn't necessarily mean they're going to end up in our uniform. But and one of those, J.J. O'Brien, actually a Rancho Cucamonga guy. So
Nice. Okay. I like it. That's going to be
I like he's getting the history.
Yeah, see? I like this guy. All right.
So and then the entry draft is another big piece of it. Coming up October 21st.
Yes.
So we'll find a number of guys there. We made a trade during the expansion draft to pick up an additional first-round pick. So most of our roster will be those guys from the Clippers, perhaps a couple guys from the expansion draft, the entry draft, and then maybe a sleeper out there from the tryouts.
Hey. There we go.
But those tryouts are the 23rd and the 30th. And I think when you put all of those pieces together, that's really sort of the makeup of our roster: the expansion draft, the entry draft, the Clippers players, and then potentially somebody from the tryouts if there's someone stands out.
Fantastic.
And we're excited about it. Once again, Heath Bennett, team president of the Agua Caliente Clippers of Ontario. Opening night is November 3rd versus the Santa Cruz Warriors, which would be unique because Casey Hill coached there. People, if anyone wants, I'll let you guys, Eternal, you'll like this. The Agua Caliente Clippers of Ontario announced that the team will hold open tryouts on Saturday, September 23rd at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Irvine Valley College at 555 Irvine Center Drive in Irvine. And then on Saturday, September 30th from 9 to 4 at the LA Clippers Training Center. I want to see that because I know they put a lot of money into that. And that's going to be at 6951 Centinela Avenue in Playa Vista. Availability, so make sure you get in. It's on a first come, first serve basis. All participants must meet the NBA G League eligibility requirements. Players who are interested in trying out for the let's say it,
Agua Caliente
Clippers of Ontario must submit their official registration and release forms as well as a non-refundable registration fee. Log on to aguacaliente.gleague.nba.com/tryouts for more information regarding the tryouts. Please call the Agua Caliente Clippers of Ontario by calling 310-862-6000. That's 310-862-6000. November 3rd, opening night. We definitely want to be there. Get more information. Go to the website. What is it?
aguacaliente.gleague.nba.com.
That's
aguacaliente.gleague.nba.com.
Did I miss anything?
I'll tell you what, this day and age, AC Clippers at AC Clippers.
Oh, yes,
Instagram,
okay.
social, Facebook.
Okay.
Yes.
All
That's
the
why he
information
was
is there.
He's like, yeah, come on.
No, the website, any of that stuff works, but for most people, easiest thing,
Social
AC
media.
Clippers somewhere on social media.
There you go.
Anything you need for tickets, packages, single game tickets will be on sale next month.
All
the
right.
tryouts,
Hey,
any of it, AC Clippers.
And let me tell you something. I got the knee braces. I got about 4 or 5 knee braces in the car right now. I'm about to come out with the Kobe elbow brace.
There you go.
I'm here to tell you, I may be out there, and you look at me now.
We're talking Clippers. You guys say the Doc Rivers knee brace, man.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm losing my wig a little bit. You know what I mean? Okay. Because it's deep. But you know what? I'm gonna come out there. But thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And
Thanks, guys.
like I said, if the Spirit Girls coming out too?
We're gonna have them out there some. They won't be out every game. We'll have them out a good bit.
Fantastic. When they
So
come,
those are the games you want to go to.
We'll build a mini plan for you. With that,
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time, man. Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, man. We're really excited about this. This is going to be a great season. We know this is going to be great. We're really excited to have you guys here.
We're excited to be here. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it. Thank
Fantastic.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We appreciate it. Once again, Heath Bennett, team president, Agua Caliente. They'll say it.
Agua Caliente!
Clippers of Ontario. We appreciate you for coming in. You're listening to IE Sportsnet connected by Boost Mobile with Coach B.
Andy Turner when it comes to Inland Empire Sports. You know the conversation starts and stops here live on Fox Sports 1350. We'll be right back.
With the 9,000 pick, your water boys, Coach B. That's how it would have been for me. You are tuned into the new home for IE Sportsnet every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. with Coach B.
Andy Turner, when it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On Fox Sports Radio 1350 a.m. IE Sportsnet every Saturday morning, 8 a.m.